Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. With me, as always, on Mondays, is my good friend, Michele Vera. Michele, what's up?
Hey, the season is here. Finally.
It's here.
I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see like a 127 to 95 loss to the Jazz in a spectacular fashion with, I don't know, Giddey shooting 1 out of 25. That is how I feel today.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm excited too. There's definitely a buzz in the air about this Thunder team locally, just because there are a lot of fun guys to follow, which I think is why it's a little bit of an upgrade over last season. And because last season it was like, all right, what are these guys doing? Like they completely tore the team down. I mean, if you remember, like last season was the first season without Steven Adams on the team in like forever. And now we're
Why do you
starting a
have to
season
bring
with
it up?
basically.
Now I'm sad.
I know, isn't it weird? This is
Yeah.
our third NBA season in like a year, basically, a year and a half.
Yeah.
It is wild. And now they're starting the season with basically no center on the team whatsoever. They've got some undersized guys playing that position, and it's all by design. I wanted to there's a few talking points before we get into kind of the main thing, which is some bold takes that I requested from people today. I do want to say, like, thanks for all the messages from everybody. I took Wednesday through Friday off of last week, just trying to step away from the podcast for just a little bit, from all podcasting stuff for a little bit. You know, I actually listened to a sermon yesterday that talked about how we all work best if we unplug and replug. And so I tried to do that the best I could. And hopefully we can start the season off really well. So thanks everybody for joining. We've got lots of people here in the stream, lots of people that talk to us on Twitter and whatnot. So I do appreciate all the listeners and everything you guys do for us. So on Saturday, we did a media availability with Mark Daigneault that I thought was just sensational. I thought he was really good. He was really open. And I was just asking him what it was like to coach basically the best players on the team. I asked him about Giddey, I asked him about SGA, and I asked him about Dort. And the way he talked about Giddey, like everybody should be very, very excited, because he talked about how like Josh Giddey can make every pass, but he understands when to make the simple right pass better than just about anybody. He said he doesn't always have the wow factor with his passes, but he says he's always making the right passes. He said he's like a high level quarterback.
Yeah.
Basically, which
Yeah,
I love that comment.
Yeah, to me, the best example of that, and I think I touched base on it on either Thunder After Dark or Question of the Day, I don't remember, on the OKC Dream Team.
Yep.
You should subscribe, by the way. About the pass that it was a give and go with Deck. That was a very simple and pretty pass. It was two-handed, straight line drive. That was a very simple pass. But boy, oh boy, with that simple pass, it gave Deck, I don't know, 3 feet from his closest defender. Those are the little things, the timing things, where it's not easy to make that pass. It's not really easy. And so if you do it, and if you do it simply, like it's not like a one-handed or between the legs, it was just straight pass, but it was perfect. And yeah, I completely agree with the assessment. Not that I need to, because Mark clearly knows a lot about basketball. But it was to me that is why Giddey is great, because he can do the behind the back pass to Muscala for a layup, but he can also do a very, very simple straight pass, which has the same effect, like putting the man close to the basket.
Yeah, it was also like a little subtweet on Poku there for a little bit too, where it was like
a little bit.
Poku's like almost all wow factor when he's doing.
But that wow factor with Jerry was something like.
That was fun,
wow.
Wasn't it? Yeah, that was cool. That was really fun. And then he talked about Giddey, and he said, like, when you're talking about these players that were drafted higher in the draft, that we typically talk about their ceiling, and he was like, he's like, I want to kind of talk about his floor. Like he's got one of the highest floors of anybody in this draft, just because he is so smart on both ends of the floor. He's got the quickness on the defensive end. Like he's raved about his defense, which Mark doesn't do with everybody. He really believes in Giddey's ability to be a defender that holds up against multiple players, and then offensively he's got such a high floor that like he's basically saying like this is we're talking at least like a rotation player for a long time in the NBA.
Yeah.
And the excitement level is way beyond that too, because the ceiling for Giddey is big. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he was like, what's the comp? What's a good comp for Giddey? That's a difficult question. Do you have a good one after watching him? I mean, we watched him 4 preseason games, but like,
no, not really.
Like the Joe Ingles comp is horrific. Honestly,
yeah,
it's lazy. It's really bad. I've probably used it. I'm sure I've used it, and it was the same comp that was used for Luka before he came over.
Yeah, but that was extremely stupid. Like,
and it was bad too. Like it's bad too. Like they're both really bad. It's like, well, what like bigger white guy can we compare these guys to? You know, and like I don't know what a good comp for him is. I don't know what the best comp for Giddey is if you were to compare him to even a player from the last like 30 years. Like who would it be?
Well, to me, my basketball memory doesn't go back as much. But I mean, I used before the term tall Rubio, but even that, the fact that strikes me, the fact that strikes me the most about Giddey, like the shot, okay, that could be Rubio, yes, it's not good. I don't trust
shot.
It. Yeah, exactly, and it's the motion is not very. It's faster than Rubio's already, but it's not a good motion, I would say. I think that he will work on that a lot, especially that because free throws, I think those will not be easy for him. But the point is how great he is at driving the basket. That to me, that I didn't expect. I mean, I saw that in NBL he was able to get to the basket, but to do it against guys like Miles Bridges, against Middleton, like that is not easy. Even if preseason, it's not easy, and he made it look so easy. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have one. I don't have a good comp because
his scoring is way more advanced than I thought it would be. Because I thought it would be a lot of transition, a lot of drive and kick, and there is that. Like those things exist, but like the turnaround stuff that was there, I was like, huh, okay,
yeah.
Like I don't know what to do with some of it because he is a natural scorer, you know, and he believes in his own ability to be a scorer too.
Oh yeah.
When I talked to him, he was like, yeah, he's like he mentioned that he's like his mom was a scorer in the NBL, and he's like, I'm a scorer like my mom was, and I can do all the other stuff like my dad does, you know.
That is so great though to have like. Well, I'm like mom, who was like the best in the NBL, and also a little bit like that.
Right.
Like, wow,
I know,
great,
man.
good genes, like Adams used to say.
It's I don't know what a good comp is either. Like he's almost like his feel like he has such a high level feel that you're almost like, is he like I don't even know. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna.
You want to say Magic?
I want to say Bird more than Magic. Like a Larry Bird that like he doesn't have the scoring chops that Bird did. Like Bird was like his shooting was like outrageous.
Yeah, one of the single best shooter of all time.
If you were to take Bird's like shooting like on 2K and put the slider from 99 down to like
22,
I was gonna say like 52, but
25.
I mean, if you were to take the slider down to like the 60s, then it's like, is he that far from that? Like, you definitely like Bird is like is an outrageous comp. Like, it's stupid. It's bad.
Yes.
It's not. It is incredibly inaccurate, and I really shouldn't have said it. But you just take some of the 2K sliders down, and then like you're not that far, you know. But it's wrong. Like, it's very wrong. But I just don't know who else to compare him to. Like, what other 6'9"
Thomas
like,
Satoransky. That is the player you're searching for.
Yeah, Thomas Satoransky. Like, what is he's just an interesting player to analyze because you watch him and you're like, wow, like there really is something to this guy. Like, something special to him. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And so you start like, you want to dig past like the role player guys, and then you get to him and it's like, well, he's not a special athlete, you know, and he doesn't, there's just a lot of like, he's not going a guy that's going to just like generate like these crazy step backs. So you can take away like almost like any modern 6'9" like good player, like take them almost all of them away. And so like, what do you got? Like, I don't know. He's such a fun player though. And I think I hope people take notice. And if you've been listening to any national podcasts lately, like Brian Windhorst talked about him actually, but that's only because Wendy was here in Oklahoma City. Like, that's the only reason he would have talked about him. But like, if you listen to anything else, like nobody's talking about him. Like, nobody's paying attention.
The most I've heard is, then there's Giddey for the Rookie of the Year candidate. Then there's also Giddey if he plays. What?
Yeah.
Like, if he plays? Like, he will play.
Like, give me a break. Like, he's going to play a ton. And like, here's the thing is that all the rest of the guys that were picked at the top of the draft, besides pretty much Scotty Barnes and like Evan Mobley was pretty good on defense, but like everybody else was kind of terrible.
Yeah.
You know, in the preseason. And maybe that doesn't carry over to the regular season, but I think to not acknowledge the preseason that Giddey had, it's, I don't know. And I don't blame people. Like, nobody's watching Oklahoma City. That's the biggest problem.
But like, just look at the numbers.
But
he was close to. Yeah. You can say that if he's averaging, which is a big if he's averaging what he had in preseason, which is 13, 5 and 7.
Yeah, 13, 7, 5. Yeah.
7 rebounds and 5 assists.
Yep.
That is in the conversation.
You should be in the conversation.
Like, for sure.
He was highly efficient. I don't expect him to be that efficient as a shooter.
No.
But
I will expect the assists to go up.
Yeah, we just need guys to make shots. That's what we need. We need some guys to make shots.
He'll play more with Favors and Lu Dort.
Yeah.
I mean, Lu Dort is crazy. I mean, it's...
You mean
the numbers are just insane.
Play with Lu Dort and giant Lu Dort?
Yes.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that game where they were wearing the same everything? Headband.
Yes. They have the same hairstyle.
Number 5 to number 15, isn't that right? And it was like the hair, the everything was just like it was as if Derek Favors just ate a mushroom from Mario Brothers and just became giant Dort. It was unbelievable. Like, I hope the only reason I care about Derek Favors on this team is giant Dort. Like, that's the only thing I care about with it. Like, I really don't want Derek Favors on this team for many, many reasons.
Come on.
Because I want them
he
to
makes
lose,
everything beautiful though. That short
made everything so much easier and so much fun. Like the Dort to giant Dort passing is something I want to see more of, honestly.
You will.
One of the NBA novelties.
You will for 4 weeks. Then he's probably elsewhere.
Oh, that would be great. Like, let's flip him. Flip the guy. Let's flip Giant Dort to somebody else. Let's let Giant Dort play for somebody else. That's all that I really want to see. Okay, more Mark Daigneault quotes. He did talk about Dort and said that his humility is ridiculous. Like, he doesn't act like he's anything in this league and goes out and sets the tone for everybody. So lots of Dort praise. And then he goes on to talk about SGA. And there's been lots of questions. I've gotten every question you can imagine I've gotten about SGA is, does he really want to be here through this rebuild? How's he going to handle the losing? What's going to be this and that? Is like, is he bought in? As Sam Presti even told them what the plan is? You know, everybody's very, very concerned about SGA. And then I just asked pretty simple questions. Like, what is it like coaching Shai, you know, from last year to this year? Like, is there any differences? And like, what is it like just in general to coach him? And he was like, he mentioned a play. He said, Shea didn't have things going against Denver, and I wanted to get him going. He said, there's, if you have a score on the team, he's like, there's plays that we like to run for Shea to just go get a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I called the play, and the play was for Shea. I'm not trying to rhyme here. And Shea took the ball and he gave it to Josh Giddey, and he gave Josh Giddey the scoring play, and was wanting to let Josh Giddey get going, which, there is, and it's easy to have high organizational buy-in before you lose, 65 games or whatever they're going to lose. Like, it's way
Or
easier
79,
now.
69, whatever, depending
Or
on your
69.
opinion.
According to Hollinger, they could lose 69 games. Could be super nice. The organizational buy-in is there. Like, it's 100% there with Shea, with Mark, obviously Sam, like, controls all that. But like, you just ask simple questions and you get these answers that are just kind of mind-blowing and really pretty exciting. To hear that Shea is that bought in. Like, Shea has made himself involved in Giddey's development, and that's what can be exciting about this group. Like, this group is not going to win many games, but to me, they kind of have the feel of a special young group that aren't out there trying to establish themselves or like, let me prove to everybody who I am and what I can do. Like, let me show you. It's not that. There's like an outrageous amount of teamwork that exists within this team. And it starts with Shea and it trickles down to everybody else. And that's exciting to me, because I did think that there was always a chance, and there still is a chance, that they're going to have to trade Shea at some point. But if Shea is bought into this degree,
maybe not.
You probably don't have to. Like, you just probably don't even have to consider it.
Yeah, I go back to one of the first interviews that Enes Kanter made after his first season in OKC, and he said, "Oh, I came in February trying to beat everyone, and then I saw this guy, Steven Adams, that really wanted me to succeed, even if he was the starter, and that taught me a lot. So I really see the same. And if Shea is the one who does it, like, he's clearly the best team and the best player on the team, and he can be the best player somewhere else if he wants that. The fact that he's like taking care of Giddey and showing him that, yes, he wants them to play together, not just like Giddey saying, "Yeah, I have to adjust to Shea." No. Shea has to adjust to Giddey as well. Well, how about that? Like, to me, that is the key. That is really the key, because if the two, and I discussed that, I think, on Sunday. I'm not sure if it's one of the questions of the day that I already published or not, but it will be there, about the fact that, hey, having an elite ball handler alongside Shea is not bad, especially if the two can learn to play simple two-man games that are not just passing or standing while the other create. And I think that they are both very smart, and they can do it, and it works. It works in general, because even if you like, there are many examples, and you don't have to go.
I want you to keep going. I gotta take a break myself. I'll be right back. You keep going.
Okay, I'll keep going. And I was saying, like, I don't want to spoil everything I said on Thunder After Dark on the Question of the Day podcast on the OKC Dream Team. But the main point, if you want to hear everything else, we can. You can go there and listen. But the main point is, you just have to go back to Phoenix, what they did last year. They have Booker, and they have a very, very good point guard in Chris Paul. I don't think that the fact that the fact that Chris Paul was there stopped Booker being the best version of himself. And I think that even if Giddey is not as good as Chris Paul, he plays a ball handler role a dominant ball handler role. And so if they can make it work, I think that the OKC with Giddey and Shea can do the same. So since Andrew is not here, and I know that he wants to discuss bold hot takes, I will get one from John Hamm, and I will just rate it right off the bat. John writes, OKC makes it to the Western Conference Finals and has a good shot at defeating Golden State. Oh, you said bold takes, not old takes. That game was incredible. I know that you all don't want to hear from the Game 6 Chronicles and whatnot. But I mean, that game was so stupid. I mean, Clay had a night for the ages, and KD didn't. I mean, can you believe it? It was just the most insane shooting display that I witnessed in my life, and it happened in that moment, in that game, with all it was at stake. It was terrible. Okay, enough. Bold take and old take, John. Not appreciated by anyone here discussing the Chronicles. Let's see. Scott Kiddy. Giddey becomes second in franchise history in triple doubles, passing Durant, who had 7. That is spicy. It's hot, but it's not like Giddey will be an all-star this season, which is impossible. I think it's a possibility. Am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying that it may be possible for Giddey to record 7 triple doubles? I think
guys got to make shots, Michele.
Yeah, but 10 points. Come on. By the way, we lost half of the listeners because I read John Hamm bold hot take, which is we.
Oh no, you talked about 2016.
Yes,
oh,
I did. It is terrible.
Wow.
But sometimes pain is helpful, you know. No, it's
this
not.
This is true.
But hey, 7 again. This take I like 7 triple doubles. It's very unlikely, but not impossible. So that's a good
not
take.
Impossible. Yeah. No, I think that's especially with the kind of minutes he's going to get, because he was close in that last Denver game.
Oh yeah,
he was very close to getting there. He'll have, I don't know if he'll have 7. I'll bet you he'll have like 3 or 4.
Yes,
is my guess.
But still,
yeah,
this is the point of bold takes. It's a bold take that I think,
got to be bold, man.
Yeah,
it's got to be really bold. Okay, before we dive back into bold takes, they cut Mamadi Diakite this weekend. So sad. Big shouts to Mamadi. He's an incredible person. Wish he was here. They chose to keep Gabriel Deck. He'll continue to be one of the biggest Thunder mysteries of this Thunder era, and he'll be on the team. So there you go. One thing that Mark has not committed to is a starting center for this team. Who do you think it will be, Michele?
Favors.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I kind of think it's going to be. Well, maybe it is going to be Favors.
Yeah. They need to showcase him for a month or 2.
Yeah, I kind of think it's going to be Roby, but maybe it's Derek. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. Just play him as a token starter for 6 minutes, 7, then 2 in the second quarter, 2, 3. You have it. You're having around 20, perfectly rested. No back to back, no nothing like that. But hey, I really like the idea of having Favors out there to begin with, because I mean that will help you stay in the game at the beginning and maybe just not drop immensely. So
yeah, that's probably true. I would rather just lose a bunch of games and be guaranteed a top 5 pick. That's what I
yeah,
would
but
like.
still losing.
That's what I
but
care about the most.
a little bit more like better way to losing, I think.
Yeah, perhaps.
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. Big shouts to my guy Carson Cunningham at KOCO5, who is moving on. He's been there for a decade and is moving on to something else in life. And I just want to say big congrats. Huge thanks to he came on our podcast when literally 35 people downloaded the show. And he came on the show and we didn't have any clue what we were doing. And he was kind enough to join us. So big shouts to Carson. Hope that, the next step is a good one. And just, big thanks, big shouts to Carson, who's always been good to me and good to all of us. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're talking bold takes. We're talking hot takes. We'll be right back. And we're back from that quick break. Michele, I asked for bold takes, and bold takes were delivered right to me, to my Twitter mentions. I think I have 107 comments on this post from just this morning. We're obviously not going to get to all of them. Shout out to the Thunder faithful who are not short on bold takes, but we'll try to get through as many of these as we can. Let's come up with like a rating scale for these. You eat a lot of spicy food, Michele?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Yes, I like spicy foods in general. Spicy food in general. It's do you have like round peppers that you stuff with like cheese and stuff like that, and then you fry them and you eat them right away? It's like jalapenos, but those are red and round.
The red round pepper, the peppers that you eat are red?
Yes. But they are not as spicy as you like all the other red peppers. It's not like habanero or anything. It's a little bit more spicy than jalapenos.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? What do you call it?
Oh, it's just there's no way there is a translation. It's just stuffed.
Well, just say it in Italian.
Peperoncini ripieni. It's stuffed peppers, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go jalapeno, stuffed pepper, and then what's the hottest that you'll go?
Oh, I made salt with habanero chocolate. That is a very spicy salt that if you smell it, it smells like chocolate, but it's very, very spicy. Not
habanero
spicy.
Chocolate?
Yes, those are basically brown habaneros.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I can give the recipe. If you're interested, hit me up. It's very simple.
Yeah. Okay. Habanero chocolate will be our spiciest.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to the scale is jalapeno. What was it? Stuffed pepper? Stuffed pepper?
Yeah, but we can also use some Mexican stuff like hot chili, whatever.
Yeah. Ghost pepper? You had a ghost pepper?
No. What's that?
You haven't had ghost pepper? That's just like this outrageously spicy pepper. Just probably spicier than habanero. It's painful. Just you wish that you wouldn't have done it. Pepper. Maybe that should be our spiciest then. Let's go.
We do jalapenos, habanero chocolate.
Habanero chocolate, ghost pepper.
Ghost pepper.
Which is like you just wish that you hadn't have said it. Like I should have never even said it. Because it's coming out wrong on the other end, kind of thing. All right, let's go through these. Heath Black. Whoa, I haven't heard from Heath Black in a long time. Heath has been a listener to Down to Dunk for a long time, and Heath actually went to Summer League. Gosh, this is 8 years ago or something, and he was a correspondent to Down to Dunk at Summer League. Years ago. He was in on the early days. So he said, I'm convinced the Thunder should relegate all the players 3 years of experience to the blue, 3 years or more experience to the blue, and try to go for 7 and 75. Gosh, I don't think you know what you're wishing for there, Heath. That's ghost pepper
Wow.
that's coming out the wrong end. It's in
It's
theory
destructive.
it sounds good. It's destructive to your bowels, man. We got to stay away from that one.
Yeah.
Pepsi United says, my official prediction for the season is taking the over on 24.5 on
That is
OKC as long
jalapenos.
as
I did
yeah.
as well.
As SGA plays over 72 games, I don't find it bold by itself, but comparing it to what Harper and Hollinger think, it qualifies. Yeah, Harper said today that anything above 15 wins feels like too hopeful.
Yeah, to me, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
SGA is a great finisher. Now, I don't think that they will. I think that they have the possibility to go over if they let him
Mhm.
play for 82, but probably they won't let him play for 82. So 24 and
Yeah.
a half, I think that there is this team can go 25.
It could happen. Like if you think there's
Yes.
not a world that happens, then you're not paying attention. I mean, the thing is though, if SGA has like a minor ache, they're like, all right, sit down.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it's like, oh man, my wrist. I woke up and I slept wrong, and my wrist feels weird. They're like, oh, why don't you just sit out the game? You know?
Yes. But that's why I think that 13 or 15 is
Yeah.
too low because
Dort goes ice skating with his new girlfriend, and he falls on his butt. So, oh man, Dort's out.
Wow.
He's gone. I don't know if he has a
I just
girlfriend or
love Lou
not.
Dort. I love Lou
I
Dort.
do too. He's the best, man. He's the absolute best. When he saw my Down to Dunk sign and started giggling and saying, "This is Down to Dort," walking down the hallway, I was like, all right, "This is ridiculous." What a great guy. Brian Nix, my old neighbor, old friend, also a longtime listener Down to Dunk. Thanks for the hot take. JRE will average 12 points and 7 rebounds per game.
Whoa, this
is Ghost Pepper. This is destructive.
Yes.
This is absolute just bowel destruction.
Yeah, it's that's bold.
That's very bold. Bangelope says Dort is voted top 5 in DPOY. Top 5.
But that is habanero, I think. That is
okay.
Hot. It's very hot, but it's not unthinkable.
Can you be voted top 5 in DPOY if your team is a bottom 5 defense?
I think that there was a moment when Embiid was like coming back to the league after his injuries and stuff like that, where like Philadelphia was really bad, but with him on the court, like the difference was like plus 13. And I remember Van Gundy saying, "Wow, he should be like top 5 in MVP because of that, because raising the ceiling of that team that much is unthinkable." So maybe, like, the problem to me is that he will not get any national TV game where he can lock down Harden or stuff like that. That is the issue. But if somehow when he's on the court, the defense is much better, and he has some wow plays in defense, like he just destroys one of the greats. Like, I don't know, he guards Curry and Curry goes 1 of 15, something like that. Right. Then maybe. But it's habanero. It's not. It's a hot take.
Yeah, I agree. He should be. If this team was going to make the playoffs or the play-in, then I would be like, yeah, this is definitely possible. But if you're a bottom 5 team, which they'll probably be a bottom 5 team, it's just so hard to get in on any award except for Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year is the only one that you can say you can get in on if you're at the bottom 5 team. Okay. This is from Masid T. This is Daniel Tomasi, who I think is in the chat. He says Giddey will end up the top scorer on the team this season. That is destruction, my friend. That is Ghost Pepper.
Yes.
That is Ghost Pepper. The top, one, it would have to mean that SGA is hurt and doesn't play at all. Then I can see the path, right? with SGA here, there's just ain't no way unless Giddey transforms into the full version of Larry Bird. And it's like, oh my goodness, the Thunder have somehow acquired a Hall of Fame forward to play next to SGA. And now they don't even need anybody else. They're going to go win the title now.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
like that's what it would feel like. That's what it would absolutely feel like.
Hey, it may happen. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen and that are very unrealistic. But to me, that is quite hot. I mean, it's again, in order for that to happen, I don't even consider this bold if you think that Dort and Shea are not playing. Then it's okay. Then it can happen. But if I assume that the take was like Shea and Dort play a lot, and he's better than them. If that happens, yes, he will be an Hall of Famer. Yes, which is unlikely as of today.
Jay Smooth says these are unrealistic.
Yes,
these are bold. These are bold, baby. This is supposed to be bold. Give me the boldness. Don't give me something realistic. There's something realistic. The Thunder finished closer to the West play-in than the 30th overall in the league.
That is probably, I don't know.
I just don't think they're going to sniff the play-in. I just don't think they are. Either.
So it's hot.
It could be hot. It could be hot. It's probably more habanero, though, because you could see a path. Because here's the thing. If they played a consistent rotation, and let's say that they made one acquisition, they acquired one bench-level big, then you can squint and say, okay, maybe it's possible if you don't tinker with the rotation and maybe you don't play Trey Mann at all. And maybe you know, but the thing is they're going to tinker. They're not acquiring anybody that's going to help. No. They're probably going to actually deal away players that help. And they're going to play Trey Mann. Like those things are going to happen, you know? So you could squint and see it
quite a lot.
They're going to play Poku. They're going to play Poku. Another Poku take from Words from Wine. Poku gets more than 5 votes for 6th man of the year. Like that's drunk. Like that's I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah, it is just fire. It's just taking fire and trying to inhale it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Cody McChicken says Giddey will be known as one of the up-and-coming stars in the league by the end of the year. That's not even a bold take for me, though. It's happening.
That is less than jalapeno. That is straight, I don't know.
Yeah,
normal pepper.
Yeah, this is just a bell pepper take, I would say. It's
the yellow one, which has no chance to be spicy whatsoever.
Yeah, I think that people are going to start to see that he is one of the gems of this class. And does this class have a super duper star? I just don't know that it does, which will make it easier to put him in the top rung of this draft. You know,
there is Cade.
There's Cade. I don't know that he's going to be a super duper star. I don't know that.
Yes.
He may be, and I've talked with James Edwards, who covers the Pistons, about it. Like we've talked about him being like a Dame Lillard level star, which is not a super duper star. He's not a guy that's going to lead you to a title or anything like that. He's probably at best your second best player on a title team, which I think Cade could be. Cade could be better than that. There's a chance of that. But if you were to tell Pistons fans, hey, you were getting slightly taller Dame Lillard, I think they would be ecstatic.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But I think that's where like the star level of this draft is at least as of today. And also like it's just funny how much things have changed in the summer league and like the Jonathan Kuminga takes. Like I haven't heard the name Jonathan Kuminga in weeks from anybody.
I'm watching all the box scores and the condensed game for the Warriors and like hoping to see a glimpse of the rookies. There is a little bit of Moody.
Little Moody. Kuminga's been hurt. Is why he's not playing. Yes. But also, if this Warriors team has aspirations to be as good as people think they're going to be, Kuminga won't play. Like Kuminga's not ready to contribute to a winning team today.
Hey, there is Jordan Poole for that. So
Poole's good, man. Poole's legit. We've talked about Poole and Slam and Jam more than probably we should, but he's good. but yeah, the Kuminga takes are gone. Like, and it's just kind of one of the natural consequences of Giddey going down in the first 5 minutes of Summer League. And then also just understanding like Summer League is if you can go get yours at any level, Summer Leagues is the place for you to be, baby.
Yeah.
Like it's easy. The defense sucks. You can pretty much do whatever you want. It was a great environment for like Jalen Green. It was like the perfect environment for Jalen Green.
Yes.
Jalen Green in the preseason, struggling to make a shot. And which is normal. Like it's a normal thing. It's a big adjustment to make. Just like Trey Mann. Trey Mann struggling, man. Like struggling to figure out NBA defenses, struggling to figure out when I can get my shot off. However, there was a few plays in that last game against Denver that I was like, finally, like there it is. He did it.
Yes.
He did it. I was so glad because there were just times that I was like, why is he not getting to his step back? Like, where is it? Like, it's there. Like you saw it a billion times at Florida.
Yeah.
And and some of it was a confidence issue. He just was unwilling to do it because he had been stuffed so many times in practice. It was like, I don't know when to get to it.
Yeah.
But he started to recognize those windows, which was really nice to see.
Yeah, and I think there was still an issue. I know that I already discussed this, but I think that there was an issue with the range as well. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, back to some bold takes. Josh_Morrison, another great listener of ours, says Darius Bazley will be the most improved player on the team by year's end.
It's not bold.
Yeah, that's jalapeno, man. I think that can happen. I think it absolutely can happen. Because who are the candidates for most improved? It means that they were already here. So take all the rookies out of here.
Mm-hmm.
It means that they have room to grow, which like I guess you could definitely count Teo, but like I think Teo is going to just be better at what he has already done.
Yeah.
I don't think Teo is going to grow, like just suddenly become like this like go-to scorer or a guy that can go get it, So that won't happen. You look at Poku, who could definitely be that. Poku was much, much better in that last game against Denver as well.
Yes.
So I would honestly lead to Poku just because there is such a far, you have to go to the depths of like the NBA to go get where he was. And so if he's just like an close to average NBA player, like boom, there it is.
Yes.
He's the most improved. But if
I think that Dort has a chance.
Dort's got some stuff, man. The thing about Dort is like don't forget the Dorty 40 from last year, man. Like that he scored 40 points in a basketball game.
Yes.
Professional basketball game at the highest level.
Yes.
So his scoring could take an uptick. If Dort just learns to finish at the rim, we could be at 18, 4-2 for him.
Yeah.
That could happen.
4.5. He will if he scores with that efficiency, he will never pass it. I can see him just occasionally.
I don't know, man. Even 18, 4-1.
Yes.
Bro, that's great. Yeah,
that's
could get
MIP.
There.
Yes.
Yeah, I can believe that.
MPP.
There's a lot of candidates. Yeah. Let's see. From at Austin Woolrish, he says, as long as SGA plays, we'll be on pace to win 35 games. He is too much of a floor raiser for in a good organization. To me, that's pretty spicy. 35 wins. Eventually, this Thunder team is going to be pulled to 35 wins.
Yes.
That will happen.
Yes.
Is this the season for that?
No.
To me, this is an irresponsible ghost pepper that you're just like,
I don't think so,
you're ready. I think it absolutely is. I think this is kicking your bowels, bro. There's too many young guys. There's too many young players.
Yes.
Do we know what the average age of do we know what the average age is for all the players on the Thunder?
23.7.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Oh, I gotta look it up. Hold on. But
I'll make a point. I think that this is a jalapenos to habanero take. because I think that Shea will play 60, 55, 60
Okay.
games.
Sure.
And they will win 22, 23. Because over the last, I don't know, 22 games in which Shea doesn't play, I think they will win 2 games, 3 games. And so you end up having a pace of 35 when Shea plays, 30 to 35, maybe 35 is a little bit higher. But I fully expect Shea not to play 82 games. So I don't think that is too bold of a take, but still qualifies as bold take. Zachary at Zaktig, or well, I don't know. Thunder will have someone not named SGA score 40 plus points in a game. This is not even like a bold take. How dare you? Like, Zachary, come on. It already happened last season, and it was like 42. So I think that this is between like a bell pepper that grew close to Cayena's pepper and habanero. Like, no, come on, this can happen. Like, it will probably not be Giddy. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if it's Dort again that scores 40 in a game. I don't see that to be impossible. Let's see other bold takes. This is not a bold take. Nice, Sanchez. Presti will trade Darius Baisley before the trade deadline. I don't think that is a take at all. Like, that would be weird. I'm not sure if it's hot, but it's clearly weird. Oh, this is a bold take. One that I absolutely don't agree with. But hey, this is fun. I lost the question, so now I have to paraphrase it, and I don't know who asked it. Let me see if I can. Okay, Ian McLeod. Giddy gets all the press, but JRE has just as good of a season, if not a better one.
Wow. That is irresponsible, Ghost Pepper. And like irresponsible handfuls of Ghost Pepper. Like just like shoving, you've already taken one in and you know it was bad, and you just keep ingesting them.
With seeds and everything.
With all the seeds, yeah. In fact, maybe you've dumped all the seeds into a huge bucket, and you're just taking handfuls of Ghost Pepper seeds.
Yes. With your bare hands.
And here's the thing, like JRE is a good player. Like, he's intuitive, he's tough, he's smart, he's skilled. But the level that Giddy is already at with seeing him for 4 games is he's a starting level player. Like, I feel confident in saying like he's going to be a starting level player in the NBA, period. And JRE, I'm just not even sure he's a top 8 guy on most teams, so I just think that's a tough one. I think that JRE could end up being like the Nick Collison of this era, like knows how to make like the right kind of passes, can set screens, is probably is undersized to play against most centers. But at the end of the day, like in this era, it's totally cool to play an undersized guy. Like, that's totally fine. I'm a big fan of him, but Giddy's legit. Like, Giddy's for real. Cheesy Velveeta, the brand of cheese that Michele just, I don't know if you hate it. I don't know what you don't believe it's actual cheese, but it's the actual brand. Who's it's delicious. You want to talk about queso, like this is how you make queso, is Velveeta. And
queso with jalapenos I can get by.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. I'd like to have some right now.
Let's not push it.
He says Dort MVP, which I think is it's accurate. He should be the MVP, and the co-MVP should be Derek Favors, just because he's giant Dort. Maybe this is really a promoting Favors, because if Dort is the MVP, then giant Dort is like the actual MVP. I just hope we get to see more Giant Dort. That's all I care about right now. It's like number one thing I care about right now.
He will start.
Alex_Bowlerjack says finalists for most improved player, defensive player of the year, and rookie of the year are all in our starting 5. Tell Zach Harper that. Tell Zach Harper, hey, listen, the team you think will struggle to get 15 wins has the most improved player, the defensive player of the year, and the rookie of the year all in the starting 5. Like, take it. Take it to the bank, Harper.
I think that at least 2 of these, OKC will have someone in the top 5, though.
It's possible. I think rookie of the year should be he should be in top 5. Like we talked about Giddey enough to where you know how we feel about him. He should be there. And most improved, there is definitely the case for SGA. If SGA scores like 25 points per game, he's going to be there in the top 5. Defensive player of the year is the stretch, and we've talked about it already with Bangelop's hot take, was that it's just, unless they're a top 10 defense, they're just not getting there. They're just not going to get there. We maybe will save some of these bold takes for Alex on Wednesday, or maybe I can rate them just on Twitter. Thanks so much for all those. There's no way we're going to get through all of them. I'm sitting here scrolling. I'm still scrolling through all of them. So big thanks to everybody. I'm excited for the season to start. NBA starts tomorrow night. The Thunder tip off against the Jazz in Utah. They go to Houston after that on the road, and then they're back home. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a really fun start of the season. And again, if you want to hang out with Down to Dunk people, the hosts of the shows, except for McKelly, like I'm still so sad McKelly can't be there because Alex Spears is going to be there. So it's going to be, we're all going to be on stage for a pre-game podcast. If you buy a ticket, you'll get a guaranteed spot to that, which there will be limited space for that. So be sure to buy a ticket. And then your ticket also gets you into the game, and it also gets you a t-shirt. And then after the game, we are going to do a half-court shot competition. This is all on November 15th. You can go look at the pinned tweet for Down to Dunk on Twitter. You don't have to have a Twitter account. I know a lot of you don't have Twitter accounts. You can just go to our Twitter, just Google Twitter Down to Dunk, and it will come up. And it will be the pinned tweet. It's the tweet that's at the top. It has a link there that you can click to go get your ticket. The tickets are $34, and it gets you into the game, gets you a t-shirt, and gets you a guaranteed spot for the Down to Dunk pod before the game. And then after the game, we're doing a half-court shot contest. I don't know why I can't say that. Half-court shot contest to win some Thunder memorabilia. And so you get a chance to show your chops from half court on the Thunder court from the Thunder logo. And we're also all going to take a picture together, and it's going to be super duper fun. So be sure to buy your tickets to that if you haven't already. I know a ton of people have already. I think we have limited space for the pod, so I'll just go ahead and purchase your tickets today so that you can make sure you get in. HoopTalk69 says, no Ayton talk. The Thunder aren't getting DeAndre Ayton. I'm sorry, man. Also, you can check out McKellay's talk about DeAndre Ayton on OKC Dream Team question of the day. If you really want to hear about that, go to patreon.com/OKC Dream Team to hear McKellay's thoughts on that. Hope you guys have a great day. It feels good to be back, man. It feels great to be back on the pod again. We will be here. Maybe that's the longest I've not done Down to Dunk in years, I think. But thank you for hanging in with us. Be sure to listen the rest of the week. We got Alex on Wednesday. We got the Fry Pod back for some bold predictions of our own on Friday. So be sure to tune in for that. Have a great rest of your day. And we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.